Hey Mama, welcome back to Holistic Moms. I'm your host, Shan Wright. Today we're going to dive into something really important for your overall wellness that sometimes we might overlook because we're always trying to do something, and this is avoiding something. And we know actually as those with stress and prone to anxiety that avoidance is actually a coping mechanism, and it's something that we don't want to do. But in this area, we definitely want to do it. And it is avoiding toxins in all aspects of your life. So no, I'm not just talking about the chemicals in your cleaning supplies. I am talking about toxic people, conversation, food, environmental toxins, everything. They can all weigh you down physically, mentally, emotionally, holistically. And we're going to talk about all of that today. But first, did you know the birthday party is still happening? Yes, Holistic Moms turned 1 year old, and we are celebrating with a little fun giveaway of a 15-minute free coaching session with me. And this is all for just simply voting on your favorite episode so far. You simply can go to the Facebook group at bit.ly/holistic hacks, bit.ly/holistic hacks. And there's a featured post that has the voting there. You can choose your favorite episode from the top 5 episodes, or you can pick other. If it's not listed, pick other. Just tell me your favorite. That is all you have to do. And if you don't want to go on Facebook or you don't have Facebook, you can always email me, hello@theshanwright.com, and tell me your favorite episode. That's all you have to do. And you get in the drawing for a free 15-minute coaching session. Now, in this session, we can talk about whatever you want, like removing a toxin and how to do it and not be overwhelmed with all the choices. But we can talk through what toxin you should remove would have a best positive effect on your life right now. We can also talk about beliefs and your thoughts and your words and any wellness goal that you have. We can get headway and take a baby step in the right direction on that wellness goal. So you can do all that for just simply voting on your favorite episode. As we enter year 2 on the podcast, I want to know where to take the show. So any feedback is welcomed, but just telling me your favorite episode will get you in the giveaway. I will wrap this giveaway up on October 27th. So go ahead, get all your votes in. You can vote multiple times. Just vote today and you can be in the drawing. And did you know you can always chat with me for free in a 15-minute heart-to-heart? In this conversation, we can talk about questions you have about my coaching, what it's all about. You can just talk your stress out with me. We can talk about what's making you anxious and your biggest stressors in life, your prayer needs and requests, or anything else. Just have a heart-to-heart, good mom chat. Whatever you need is there. You can go to bit.ly/chat with Shan to book that call with me. It's bit.ly/chat with Shan. ChatWithShan. And you can book a call that fits your schedule and we can get on the phone and chat about what is going on. Now let's get into part 3 of this 3-part series. Hey Mama, are you stressed by the lack of time in the day to do all the things? Are you feeling disconnected from God, your husband, and even your kids because patience and presence seem out of reach? Do you want a healthier body, mind, spirit, and home, but overwhelmed in where to start? Hey, I'm Shan Wright, daughter of the king, wife, mom to 4, RN, wellness coach, and I know very well what it feels like to want to live well, but about to lose it with my very blessed full life. After realizing I can't pour from an empty cup, I tracked my way to whole body wellness and so much peace. If you are ready to cancel the stressed out life, learn tactical, intentional strategies as a mom wearing many hats, find more peace, confidence, and joy raising kingdom kids, then listen in. Come on, Mama, together we got this. Really, God's got this. So go heat up that coffee again and turn your listening ears on. Let's chat. Very quickly, I wanted to clarify something from the last episode. I was listening to it back and I wanted to clear something up. I was referring to the parasympathetic nervous system and said it's the rest and digest system, which means you aren't digesting. So I want to clarify that I meant you aren't ingesting food so your body can actually digest what is already in there. So the PNS increases digestive activity. It stimulates saliva production. It promotes secretions in the digestive enzymes and stimulates intestinal movement. So this helps the body process food and absorb all your nutrients efficiently. And by not ingesting more food, the body can actually digest properly and fully. Okay, now for today, we're in part 3 of this 3-part series that I retrieved from an episode from Dr. Mindy Peltz on her Resetters podcast. And she was answering a question of 3 main things to help women live and age healthy. And she gave a checklist of 3 things, and I expanded on each one in a full episode. And this is part 3. So we also talked about this 3rd part, which is removing toxins, in episode 63 and 64 with Dr. Lorena Harding on Holistic Moms. We discussed removing 1 toxin and adding 1 healthy habit, not to be overwhelmed by all of it and doing it all at once, but taking 1 action step towards removing 1 toxin. So as you listen today, this is going to be, I know you, and you're going to want to do all of it. So don't do all of it. Refrain yourself from going full force and think about which one is affecting you the most right now and remove 1. Take 1 action step towards removing that 1 toxin. Okay, let's get into first toxic people and relationships. Yes, this is a thing. This is a big thing. That's probably one of the most challenging sources of toxins in our life. And people can drain your energy. They can just bring so much negativity into your life. They can even make you question things about yourself and your identity and your self-worth, and can really bring you down. So this could be a friend who's constantly critical, or a family member who doesn't support your decisions, or a negative Nelly in your workspace. Here's the thing. Surrounding yourself with toxic people doesn't just affect your mental health, but it can also lead to physical symptoms like stress and anxiety and fatigue. So it's essential to recognize when someone in your life is toxic. Okay, and then you have to do something about it. So how to avoid toxic relationships? Number 1, set boundaries. It's okay to say no or limit time with people that are toxic, but be sure to do it gracefully. But setting these healthy boundaries protects your holistic wellness, but do it with grace and truth and honor. And then the next thing would be assess your people. You know, you're an accumulation of the 5 closest people to you. So assess your inner circle. Take stock of the people that are in your daily life. Are they lifting you up or bringing you down? And then seek out relationships that are based on mutual respect, support, and positivity. When you do finally plan that girls' night out or that play date with friends, evaluate what are the thoughts swirling in your head after you leave. Evaluate if those are relationships that are bringing you up and bringing positivity into your life, or negativity. Do you have negative thoughts when you leave that meeting? And surround yourself with the positivity. Make time specifically for those people who inspire, encourage, and care about you. You'll notice how much lighter you feel when you spend time with uplifting people that are really encouraging to you. So avoid the toxic relationships, and you will find more space and time for those that bring joy and peace and pursuit of wellness in your life. Okay, the next thing is toxic talk. I'm going to spend a lot of time here because this is big. We don't think about this one so much. We want to avoid toxins in food, and and environment, but this is huge. I think we've all seen the rice study, right? Where Dr. Emoto put the rice in the different jars and then talked positive, negative, or ignored the third jar, and what happened to that rice over time. So I actually really want to do this with my kids because I think, kids love visuals. And I've even bought the rice specifically for that and have not done it. It's still in my pantry. So there's my words of confession, and I need to intentionally take action. Okay, but that is such a cool study. And if you don't know, the jar that had the negative talk coming at it turned moldy so much faster. And even the one that was ignored as well turned moldy and toxic. And then the one that they spoke positively to did not. So it is just amazing to see that toxic talk is so huge. It applies to, how you talk to yourself and the conversations that you have with others. We don't often realize how the negative self-talk can put this mental toxin inside of you. And if you're constantly criticizing yourself, thinking you're not doing enough, thinking you're not good enough, comparing yourself to others, this negative inner dialogue affects everything, your confidence, your holistic wellness. I know this. And if you are like me, then you have probably a pretty strong inner critic. And this inner critic, it's constantly feeding negative self-talk. Then there's negative conversations. This is the gossip, the complaints, the negative discussions that are going on that are just have you feeling drained and low. And while we do need to all talk out certain situations and hurt feelings sometimes, it's important to shift the conversation to how can we see the good? Where is the uplifting message in this situation? And where is the good solution? Proverbs 18:21 says, in the Message version, words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit. You choose. This is so powerful. We need to be so mindful of our words that are coming out. So how do we avoid the toxic talk? Well, Joyce Meyer says, you can't have a positive life with a negative mind. And where do our words come from? Our mind. So we have to start with our thoughts. This is the crux of it all, and why in my coaching we spend a great deal of time on this. When you work with me, we will evaluate your thoughts and your words, where they're coming from, and how did those beliefs form. To change anything for the positive, this is where we have to start. So you can book me for a coaching call at theshanwright.com/coaching, or better yet, why don't we just chat it out for 15 minutes and you can decide if it's a good fit that we work together. And I shared that in the top of the episode, but you can go to bit.ly/chat-with-Shan and we can see if we should book a coaching session. Okay, we have to have the understanding and belief that we can change our thoughts and therefore we can change our words, and it's possible. You don't just think what you think. You actually, what's in your heart is what you think. Okay, so we have to practice this, and we have to notice what comes out of our mouth and notice that it's coming from our thoughts and reframe those thoughts and beliefs. For example, if you're thinking, I am so behind on everything, you got to think, no, I'm trying and doing my best, and that is good enough. Or we can often get tripped up on when we think we are stating facts, negative facts, but facts nonetheless, and we think it's something that is true and a fact. And so we'll say, for example, I'm sick. You can actually change that and not believe and think and therefore say I'm sick, but you can say, I believe God is healing me. And that has to come from the belief that God is always working in you, that He is the great physician, that He doesn't design you to be sick, but you've gotten some toxins inside of you, and it's either come from the food, the environment, bacteria, from toxic talk, from toxic words, and it's gotten inside of you and it has developed this symptom. So you can say, I feel this, but I believe God is healing me, right? Or you can declare, I am healed and whole in Jesus' name. God is working in me. Our words have so much power. So speaking toxic words over your life will give you toxic results. And this comes in the form holistically. So it could be physical, social, mental, emotional. It comes out in some way, okay? It's going to have a result. So Joyce Meyer also says in Battlefield of the Mind that she was convicted of being a negative person. So she first had to be self-aware of this and then commit to changing it. And she said, I believe God will change me as I trust him. I know it will take time and I'm not going to get discouraged with myself. God has begun a good work in me and he is well able to bring it to full completion. That's Philippians 1:6. And she says, ask the Holy Spirit to convict you every time you start to get negative, whether it's a word or a thought. Wherever it is, ask the Holy Spirit to convict you of it so that it actually doesn't come a word. So he can convict you in your mind. And so you cannot speak the words out loud. So I think that's really great, is to become aware and invite Holy Spirit in the process with you. I have several episodes on words. Episode 62 and 101 specifically talk about words. And it's just because they're so powerful and we need to remember this, have the reminder constantly. We're going to use them to build each other up and ourselves up and not tear down, whether it's talking to yourself or your kids or your friends. So choose your words wisely, friends. And then also limit the gossip and complaints. Limit complaining. Do everything without complaining and arguing. If you find yourself having a conversation that is spiraling in that direction, try to gently redirect the conversation and even confess and be honest with your friend you're talking to. You know, I feel this is going in the wrong direction. I don't want to be someone who complains and argues and gossips about something or someone. So I'm going to actually, let's change this or turn this around. Like speak that out loud and tell your friend what you're mentally trying to do and how you're changing your words. And that's going to be super encouraging as well. Moving on, and I'm going to go through the other ones pretty quickly, but that was the most important one, I think. And then we're going to move on to toxic food. Yes, you know what this is, right? The processed food, the artificial, heavily refined foods, they can wreak havoc on our bodies. It's no secret that what we eat directly affects our energy, our mood, our overall wellness, okay? And when we consistently consume food that's high in sugar, unhealthy fats, artificial ingredients, chemicals, we invite inflammation, sluggishness, even that mental distress into us. So on the flip side, food is medicine. Nourishing food, whole, nutrient-dense options like fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats can fuel your body, give you energy, balance out your emotions, balance out your hormones. It can be medicine for you, okay? It is God's medicine. So how do we avoid the toxic food? Well, obviously, choose the non-toxic food. Choose whole foods. Focus on foods that come from the earth. If it grows, it's good. So fruits, veggies, grains, lean proteins. These provide the essential nutrients that help your body function properly, okay? And then read labels. Labels are a tricky little thing, right? There's so much marketing scheming that goes into labels, but when you're buying packaged food, take a moment to read the label. Avoid foods that have the long list. Try to go with the shortest ingredient list. That'll help you, or anything you cannot pronounce or recognize as an ingredient. Artificial additives, excess sugar, of course, like avoid those things. And then cook more at home. Preparing meals gives you control over what goes into your body. We don't need to be super fancy all the time, but simple, healthy food can make so much of a difference. And invite the kids in with you to do it. It's going to make it 10 times better. Might take longer, but it will be better because it'll be more fun and they'll actually eat it if they help with it. In Dr. Mindy Peltz's books, Fast Like a Girl and Eat Like a Girl, she has many examples of the foods that we should avoid and the ones that we should eat, and definitely according to our hormones as well and our cycles. And so those two books, those are amazing resources if you are wanting to do this. This is your action step that you really want to do and hone in on and work on, then I would tune into those books and resources. And then the next one is environmental toxins. Okay, so we know there's toxins all over in our environments, and these are chemicals, pollutants in our home. They can be found in, cleaning products, and we think we're doing a good thing and actually putting toxins in our space. Beauty items, they're just everywhere. And while we can't avoid all of them, we can make some intentional choices to reduce them in our daily lives, okay? Don't get overwhelmed with this, but you can just take little baby steps in this area. So obviously, your environment has a huge impact on your holistic wellness, and we can not only clear out the toxins as far as the chemicals, but even clutter, which we've just recently talked about on 2 other episodes. And this can all affect your health. So, how do we avoid environmental toxins? Use natural cleaning products whenever possible. So, many of the brand name commercial products have harsh chemicals, and they're going to irritate your bodies on the skin and internally. If it's something you have to wear gloves with and protect your airway, then you probably shouldn't be using it. So switch to natural, eco-friendly options or make your own. Vinegar and baking soda are amazing natural ingredients you can use for a lot of things. I'm also partnered with a clean brand that I love and trust. My link is in the show notes, or you can email me at hello@theshanwright, and I can get you a shopping link with a coupon attached. And then avoid the harmful beauty products. This is a little bit harder as well because you find that thing that you like and you don't want to give it up because of how it looks on you. But a lot of them have the harmful chemicals in them. So avoid ones with parabens and synthetic fragrances. So choose brands that prioritize natural ingredients. And I think there's a lot more coming out in the market. So it actually is not as hard as it used to be. And then declutter your space. Okay, again, we've just talked about this on 2 recent episodes with guests. Episode 105 with Jenna and episode 108 with Christina are going to be amazing to listen back to if this is what you want to do to reduce this toxin. But a cluttered home can lead to stress, anxiety, overwhelm. So take a few minutes each day to clear out the unnecessary items, make your space more peaceful and welcoming, and that environmental clutter can be an environmental toxin. So be mindful of that. Okay, so let's recap and go over some action steps that you want to take personally. The takeaway of this whole episode is avoiding toxins in all of your life, whether it's toxic people, negative self-talk, unhealthy foods, or harmful environmental toxins can lead to a more healthy, fulfilling, holistically well life, okay? If your life is full of toxins, it will be toxic. So choose clean, natural, pure, good for a positive, non-toxic life. Okay, that's the takeaway. And here's the action steps. Identify one toxic relationship or conversation that you can create a boundary around. I shared in another episode that I've had to be more mindful of social media lately and set more boundaries to protect my emotional and mental wellness. So that might be one for you. Another action step you can take is to swap out one processed food for a healthier whole food. Now, again, little baby steps at a time. And then another action step you can take is take a look at your cleaning and beauty products that you use on the daily. Make a small switch and choose something that's more natural. So you can check out my wellness store again. I have many options there. You can go to modere.com, or my link with a coupon is in the show notes, or email me for the link. Okay, and so by making these small shifts, these small baby action steps, you will notice a big difference in how you feel holistically, physically, mentally, emotionally. And this wraps up our 3-part series of the top 3 things to live healthy by Dr. Mindy Peltz, which were episode 112, to understand the hormonal hierarchy, episode 113, to get in sync and in tune with your natural rhythms, and to live a non-toxic life by intentionally removing toxins from your life. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with a fellow mom, leave a review. This all helps the show so much. And come share with us an action step that you took from today's episode in the Facebook group, bit.ly/holistic hacks, bit.ly/holistic hacks. Remember, friend, your intentions are a hill of beans. Take courageous action and pursue holistic wellness. And as discussed today, by making intentional choices to avoid toxins. Until next time, shalom, shalom. Hey, Wellness Warrior. I pray that blessed you. And if so, it would bless me big if you would write a 5-star review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Not only would this make me super happy, but it will allow for others to find this show too. Also, I love to chat over on Instagram, so make sure to take a screenshot, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at @TheShanWright so I can see it and we can keep chatting and bring other moms to chat with us. Until we get to chat again, mama friend, may the Lord's face shine upon you and give you peace.